Morning, Jenny.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm all right. How are you, gentlemen?
Doing great.
Good.
Good morning, everybody. Appreciate everybody being on today. Hope everybody had a wonderful Labor Day weekend. Welcome to our September the 8th, 2020 fiscal court meeting. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Madison County Fiscal Court will be video conferencing the fiscal court meetings live on the Madison County Facebook page and on the local Spectrum TV channel 377 in compliance with the Office of the Attorney General's Opinion 20-05. This time, I'd like to call this meeting to order. Clerk Barger, if you will, please call the roll.
Master Combs. Master Barger.
Here.
Master Tudor.
Here.
Master Bakken.
Present.
Mitch Taylor.
Here. At this time, I'm going to invite our magistrate of our second district, Roger Barger, to lead us in a word of prayer.
Let us pray. Father, thank you for all the blessings that you bestow upon us each and every day. God, as we go through this fiscal court meeting, we ask for your guidance and direction. Father, we pray that you will be with the ones that are in need on this day. And I pray these things in the name of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, Roger. At this time, I'll invite our sheriff to lead us in a pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Sheriff.
Yes, sir.
Everyone's had a chance to look over the minutes from the previous meeting. And if so, I need a motion and a second to approve. Roger?
So moved.
John?
I'll second the motion to approve the minutes.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from our August 25th, 2020 fiscal court meeting. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Master Barger.
Yes.
Master Tudor.
Yes.
Master Bakken.
Yes.
Mitch Taylor.
Yes. Treasurer's report is always on our fourth Tuesday meeting. So we'll have Glenna back with us, giving us an update on our treasurer's report then. First order of business today is our second reading of ordinance 2021. It's the CARES budget amendment. This is a second reading. We did advertise it according to KRS. We have no comments from the public on this. Is Glenna on today?
Yes.
Good morning, Glenna.
Good morning. I can read the ordinance for you if you'd like, please.
Yes, that'd be great.
Okay. Madison County Fiscal Court, Madison County, Kentucky, Ordinance 20-21, an ordinance relating to the budget amendment of the CARES budget. Whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court is responsible for the administration of the county budget, and whereas Madison County Fiscal Court has realized unbudgeted receipts, and whereas the county treasurer has reviewed the budget to ensure sound financial practices, now therefore be it ordained by the Madison County Fiscal Court of Kentucky, the CARES budget be amended by $3,165,853.
Thank you, Glenna. And we did get this sent to DLG, and it has been sent back to us signed, correct?
Yes.
I need a copy of that one for my packet, if you have one, please.
Yes, I will bring it to you.
Thank you. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the second reading of ordinance 2021? It's the CARES budget amendment. Tom Bakken?
Muted, Tom.
Yeah, I was reading his lips. I was getting ready to repeat it.
Motion to approve ordinance 2021, amendment to the budget for the CARES budget.
Yeah, thanks, Tom. Roger,
Second.
have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? John Tudor?
It's just a question for Glenna. Did we have receipts totaling 1,300,000 at our last meeting so far, Glenna? Something like that?
1,082,000 was submitted for reimbursement. We haven't received that, but it's in the process of getting reviewed at DLG.
And we're going to have several more the next couple of months. Is that correct?
That was just from March 1st and through June 30th.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to send in a request, John, about every quarter. So we'll be working on another one from July 1 through, I guess that'll be September 30th. And then we'll have another one that we'll work on from October 1st through December 31st.
And you don't know the deadline of those payments coming in?
No, it depends on them getting reviewed. It's about a 3 to 4 week process.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Glenna.
You're welcome.
Any other comments? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Pastor Barger,
Yes.
Pastor Tudor,
Yes.
Pastor Bodkin,
Yes.
Bud Stewart.
Yes. Next, we have Resolution 2094. This is God's Outreach CDBG Food Bank Expansion Project.
Yes, I have the resolution here. Resolution 20-94, a resolution authorizing payment for the Madison County God's Outreach Food Bank Expansion Project. Whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court has been awarded Community Development Block Grant funds from the Commonwealth of Kentucky in the amount of $300,000. And whereas during the period from June 1st, 2020 through August 30th, 2020, the attached expenses have been incurred. Whereas the expenditures of all funds is in compliance with the rules and regulations, financial management policies, and OMB circulars of the various funding agencies, including the Kentucky Community Block Grant Program and the state of Kentucky. Now therefore be it resolved that the following debts be paid in full upon receipt of the CDBG funds as drawn down from the Kentucky Department for Local Government. Invoice number 4 for CETA Incorporated, line item CDBG RFP number 515-administration for $2,000. And invoice number 4 for Grants Excavating, line item CDBG RFP number 5K-construction, $63,975. Be it further resolved that all the expenditures have been documented and recorded and are authorized for drawdown from the Commonwealth of Kentucky in compliance with all state, federal, and local regulations, and those have been requested.
Thank you, Glenna. Do I have a motion and a second to approve the Resolution 2094? It's the God's Outreach CDBG Food Bank Expansion Project. Roger?
I make that motion.
John Tudor?
Second the motion, Judge.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? Tom?
Question for Glenna. Do you know what the running total is on that so far?
Yes, it is at $298,000. We just have $2,000 more to draw down. It'll be
Good. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Good question, Tom. Thank you. Any other questions? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Pastor Tudor,
Yes.
Pastor Bodkin,
Yes.
Pastor Barger,
Yes.
Bud Stewart.
Yes. Next is Resolution 2095. This is the Emergency Management Agency and Baptist Health Richmond Memorandum of Understanding. And we have Dustin Heiser on with us this morning. Good morning, Dustin.
Morning, Judge. Good morning, everybody. I'll go ahead and read. This is a resolution to approve the Memorandum of Understanding MOU between Madison County Emergency Management Agency, EMA, and Baptist Health Richmond, BHR. Whereas the Madison County Emergency Management Agency and Baptist Health Richmond desire to enter into this Memorandum of Understanding for the purpose of collaboration in the event of emergency/disaster. And whereas emergency preparedness is necessary to ready the hospital for possible and probable emergency events that may affect the patient care process and normal hospital operations. And whereas EMA and BHR agree to provide services that include but are not limited to the services listed in the agreement. And now therefore it be resolved that the fiscal court does hereby approve to enter into the memorandum of understanding and authorizes the judge executive to execute same on behalf of the county.
Thank you, Dustin. Do I have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 2095, Emergency Management Agency and Baptist Health Richmond's MOU? John Tudor.
Judge, I'd like to make a motion to adopt Resolution 2095, the memorandum of agreement between the Madison County Emergency Management and the Baptist Health of Richmond, Kentucky.
Thanks, John. Roger.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion? Tom Bakken?
Dustin, is this a yearly MOU? So this is
Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah. Yes, sir.
the decon training and those things ought to be interesting this year.
It's been challenging. It's been a little different this year. Trying to do things virtually.
John Tudor?
Dustin, we had this agreement in the past, just a continuation.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's a yearly renewal as part of their accreditation. They have to obviously have this communicated yearly, and it's just communicating what we are willing to do for them in an emergency, as well as the training we do for them through the CSEP program.
Yeah.
Seems to be working, so thank you.
You bet.
Good questions. Anybody else? All right, seeing none, call the roll. Clerk Barger.
Pastor Buckin,
Yes.
Mr. Berger,
Yes.
Tudor,
Yes.
Ms. Taylor.
Yes. Thank you all. Resolution 2096, Emergency Management Agency COVID PPE bid award. Dustin?
Yes. So a resolution to award bids for the Emergency Management Agency, EMA, COVID personal protective equipment and PPE. Whereas the Madison County Fiscal Court is required to approve all bids for projects in accordance with the administrative code. And whereas the bids were being accepted for COVID PPE such as masks, gloves, face shields, and gowns. And whereas this PPE will be put in reserve for use by county first responders if another shortage were to arise. And whereas the bids were properly posted and have been opened and reviewed, and whereas the Madison County Emergency Management Agency is recommending the award of those open to the following. For level 1 gowns, global PPE, level 2 gowns, UW ePort, level 3 gowns, Nationwide Source Incorporated, level 1 surgical mask, Zendi Incorporated, level 2 surgical mask, maybe Mars LLC, level 3 surgical mask, Clean and Healthy Products, face shields, Bay Promo, KN95s. We won't be purchasing any, but if we were needing those, UW ePort, N95 masks, regular, global PPE, N95 small, Zev Supply Corporation, and all sizes of nitrile gloves. That should say nitrile gloves. All sizes, Bay Promo. And now therefore it be resolved that the fiscal court does hereby approve the bid awards and authorizes the judge executive to sign any documents regarding the contracts. And this will be funded through the CARES funding.
Thank you, Dustin. Do I have a motion for Resolution 2096? Tom Bakken.
Motion to approve resolution 2096, Judge.
Thanks, Tom. Roger?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion at this time? John Tudor?
Dustin, have we used what we had on supply, and this is just replenish that?
So I'll be honest with you, we did not have any in supply. So this is to get us to a point where if we have a situation that we ran into this year with COVID, we would have some on hand.
Have we been hard to find these products in the past and been short on them?
Yeah, so during the initial phases of the COVID-19 outbreak, we were unable to get pretty much every item on this through normal vendor processes. If it wasn't for the Strategic National Stockpile of PPE, we and many other agencies across the country would have had an extreme challenge obtaining the proper PPE to protect responders and healthcare workers.
So even though we're working through the emergency management office, this is funded through the CARES Act that we
Yes.
just passed the budget for.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thanks, Dustin.
You bet.
Anyone else? So we do have a motion and a second, and I'm going to add the nitro gloves to the resolution, just FYI to everyone. Where it says all sizes, it'll say all sizes of nitro gloves. I'll get Robin to make that change. That's appropriate, isn't it, Counselor? Yeah. So we do have a motion and a second. With that change, if there's no more discussion, call the roll, please.
Pastor Barger,
Yes.
Mr. Tudor,
Yes.
Mr. Bodkin,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes. Thank you all. Next, we have Resolution 2097. This is the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act Interlocal Agreement. A resolution authorizing Madison County Fiscal Court to enter into an interlocal agreement among the Kentucky counties of Anderson, Bourbon, Boyle, Clark, Estill, Franklin, Garrett, Harrison, Jessamine, Lexington, Fayette, Lincoln, Madison, Mercer, Nicholas, Powell, Scott, and Woodford for the Workforce Innovations and Opportunity Act, hereinafter referred to as the Federal Act. Whereas this interlocal agreement is made among and between the Kentucky counties of Kentucky counties of Anderson, Bourbon, Boyle, Clark, Estill, Franklin, Garrett, Harrison, Jessamine, Lexington, Fayette, Lincoln, Madison, Mercer, Nicholas, Powell, Scott, and Woodford, all entities being bodies, corporate and politic of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And whereas the Kentucky Interlocal Cooperation Act, hereinafter referred to as State Act, KRS 65.210 through 65.300 permits the parties to make the most efficient use of their powers by enabling them to cooperate on a basis of mutual advantage and thereby provide services and facilities in a manner and form that will best accord with geographic, economic, population, and other factors which influence the needs and development of local communities. And whereas the Workforce Innovations and Opportunity Act, hereinafter referred to as the Federal Act, enacted by the Congress of the United States, provides the federal United States Department of Labor funds to be granted to the several states for the delivery of services and programs under the Federal Act. And whereas the parties wish to increase the effectiveness of the area's workforce development system under the Federal Act, and whereas the purpose of this agreement is to specify the respective roles of the individual chief local elected officials pursuant to Section 107C of the Federal Act as amended or modified from time to time, and to comply with the state and federal law and regulations on interlocal agreements as amended or modified from time to time. And whereas the parties desire to terminate and replace all prior interlocal cooperative agreements with this agreement, provided this agreement is A, adopted by all parties, B, is approved by the Department of Local Government in accordance with the provisions of KRS 65.210, and C, a certified copy is filed with the Kentucky Secretary of State pursuant to KRS 65.290. Whereas the execution of agreement and effective date shall become effective upon A, its approval by Anderson, Bourbon, Boyle, Clark, Estill, Franklin, Garrett, Harrison, Jessamine, Lincoln, Madison, Mercer, Nicholas, Powell, Scott, and Woodford County Fiscal Courts and the Lexington, Fayette Urban County Government, and due execution pursuant thereto by each county judge executive and the mayor of Lexington, Fayette Urban County Government. The judges and mayor are hereinafter referred to collectively as local elected officials, or LEOs. B, upon approval of the Kentucky Commissioner of the Department of Local Government under provisions of the State Act as amended or modified from time to time. And C, a copy of this agreement after its full approval being filed with the Kentucky Secretary of State's office and with the Kentucky Education and Workforce Development Cabinet. Whereas the term of this agreement shall be from June 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2025. The parties will begin discussions regarding a new agreement no later than 6 months prior to the expiration of this agreement and will execute a new agreement and have it duly approved by all parties and the commissioner and recorded in the appropriate government offices prior to June 30th, 2025. Now therefore be it resolved, the Madison County Fiscal Court does hereby approve to enter into this agreement and authorizes the judge executive to execute same on behalf of the county. At this time, do I have a motion and a second for Resolution 2097? Roger?
Make a motion to approve Resolution 2097, Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act.
Judge,
Tom?
is this a resolution or ordinance?
It's a resolution.
My 2097 document shows it as ordinance 2097.
Yeah, it should be a resolution. We were wondering whether it needed to be a resolution or an ordinance. I called around to all the other county judges to see how they approved it. And they either did it as a resolution or they just did it as like an agreement. And so we started doing these all as resolutions so we could have a number to it. And so it might have been that just didn't get changed. So I'll make sure that changes on top of the page to Resolution 2097. Because on our agenda, it does say resolution. Yeah. Thank you, Tom. Good catch. So I do have, I don't think anybody made a second.
No.
So I do have a motion. Tom?
Second to approve resolution 2097, Judge.
Thank you. So I have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? Tom?
Have there been some prior meetings on this? And
Yes, there has. The executive board of Bluegrass Ad. They work, through, any changes that might need to be made from the previous agreement.
so their budget, where will their budget come from? Paragraph 11 in the second portion of that, the 7A attachment. It talks about their workforce development budget.
Right.
And it's
That
talking,
budget comes through the WIB. Have you ever heard the term WIB, Workforce Innovation Board?
yeah,
So this is all like, our Kentucky Career Centers.
yeah,
Like we have the Kentucky Career Center that's actually located in the Richmond Mall now.
right.
That's where this funding flows through from the federal government through the WIB, to promote jobs and sort of economic development side of things. Mhm.
Okay. It's a nice, healthy document as a good federal document, but I was just curious where they're going to get all their money to support that.
Yeah, it comes through the federal grant programs. Any other questions or comments? All right, seeing none, call the roll, please.
Tudor,
Yes.
Mr. Bakken,
Yes,
Mr. Berger,
Yes.
Ms. Taylor.
Yes. Thank you all. Next, we have personnel in the road department. Do we have Willie or Scott on with us this morning? Yep, there's Scott.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott.
Good morning. I'd like to recommend that we hire Mr. David Addison as the light duty mechanic. His start date will be 9/23/2020. His starting salary will be $17 per hour. And this is to replace a full-time position where we had an employee to retire.
Upon Scott's recommendation, do I have a motion and a second? Tom?
Motion to approve the hiring of David Addison as light duty mechanic on 9/23, Judge, for $17 an hour.
Thank you, Tom. John?
Judge, I'll second the motion to hire David Addison to the road department.
I have a motion and a second to hire David Addison. Is there any further discussion? All right, seeing none, call the roll, please.
Mr. Buchan,
Yes.
Mr. Berger,
Yes.
Mr. Tudor,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Scott. Next is judge's report. Just have a few quick announcements. Richmond Parks will be hosting Kite Fest on Saturday, September the 12th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Lake Reba softball fields. Contact Richmond Parks and Recreation for more information. The downtown Richmond clean sweep scheduled for Friday, September the 18th has been canceled due to COVID. Court-appointed special advocates, also known as CASA, will be having a yard sale on Saturday, September the 19th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the corner of East Irvin and North First Streets in downtown Richmond. It'll be in that parking lot on the corner of East Irvin and North First. So CASA does do wonderful work for our community, helping children. And so anybody that is interested could go and support them on September the 19th. Just a reminder that this year's Richmond Powwow, Native American Gathering, and the annual Siege of Boonesboro have both been canceled, as well as Kirksville Days scheduled for late September. With the general election coming up, Madison County is in need of poll workers. Please contact the Madison County Clerk's office soon if you would like to help fulfill this extremely important duty. Also, please remember to wear your face coverings when out. Do your best to stay 6 feet away from others, and especially wash your hands to keep the COVID-19 infraction rate to a minimum. Also want to make an announcement of an event coming up that our Madison County Solid Waste Department has every year, thanks to some Kentucky Energy and Environment Cabinet Division of Waste Management funding. It is our household hazardous waste event that we have. It will be Saturday, October the 3rd, between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. And just some of the things that we accept are like fertilizers, oil-based paint, solvents and cleaners, batteries, electronics. I'm sure there's numerous other things. If you are interested or maybe have a question about what they accept, please feel free to call our solid waste department at 624-4709. Again, this funding is approved and provided through a grant with the Kentucky Energy and Environment Cabinet's Division of Waste Management. So we're very appreciative of not only our team applying for this grant every year, but the state for awarding it to us. Again, those dates are Saturday, October the 3rd, between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. And this will be located out on our, I think it's Clarksville. Is that the street? It's at our road department south. Clarksville Lane. Yeah, I want to say road, but it wasn't working. Clarksville Lane. That is at our road department south, just sort of right past the 421-25 split towards Berea there on the left. So I know that's a little ways off, but I wanted to be able to get that out there so we can allowing our citizens to know that that this event is going to be taking place. It is a good event, and we do have a lot of activity and people dropping stuff off. So comments from magistrates. Tom Bakken.
Just a few things today, Judge. I want to thank Willie and the men down at the road department. We had a safety issue over on Lakeside Drive, and I received some pictures yesterday where that issue has been resolved over there, and they've done a great job on that. And so we thank them very much for that. Down on Arbuckle, they're continuing drilling and should start cribbing here pretty soon. And Wheeler Branch, as soon as they finish on Arbuckle, they'll head down there to finish drilling and cribbing down there as well. Goggins Lane, we've still got about a quarter of a mile that we need to finish up on the project, filling in the cracks. And I think maybe Scott and Willie are working with the contractors, negotiations on that, finishing it up. We have a project, small one over in Tremont that in the next couple of weeks that we'll be getting to over there that has to do some work with some culverts. And we'll also be trimming some trees up over on LaBelle Drive. I had a question, I guess, that I'm starting to get some feedback on, and that's getting the absentee ballots. And I wondered if Kenny could give us any feedback on that when it's his time, not to interrupt, get started on that, but that was one thing I keep getting a lot of feedback on. And just the last thing that I had, Judge, is just to say that I want folks to just remember that Friday is 9/11, and I just ask everybody to remember the fallen first responders and the civilian heroes that were in that, and just say a prayer for their families that are left behind, that remember that loss every single day. It's not just on 9/11. They live with that every day. And just to never forget the sacrifice that those individuals made. And last, Judge, I'd just like to say, God bless our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines, our Coast Guardsmen, and God bless America. And if you need me, you can get a hold of me at 9765.
I was waiting. Yeah. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate that. Let's see, next we have John Tudor. I'm forgetting where everybody sits. You know, I'm trying to go in order, but it's been so long since we've been in our fiscal courtroom. John Tudor.
Tom, I almost forgot that telephone number there. We'd be asking for that number. Judge, I don't have much today. I just awful thankful for all the rain we've been getting lately. We were awful dry. And it's got everything growing again, and that means our roadsides are growing again. And our mowing crews are back out at it. And I'm getting a lot of good comments on the job that they're doing. And thank you guys for getting the roads trimmed up and being safe about that. I noticed there are a few road signs that are grown up over. We need to do some road trimming on some of the road signs. So work is being done on the Stony Run slide down there. I don't know how far along they are on that. Scott, if you want to chime in there and give us a little update on that, it would be great. But that's all I have, Judge.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it. Roger.
Just want to mention the solid waste department again. They've always done a great job with that out at the Clarksville Lane office. It's been a program that's been going on for years, and it's a great need for the community to get rid of some things that usually we end up finding in the ditch line. And that's a good program. One thing I wanted to ask about, and I'm sure it's been informed, tires are not in that. They're not allowed to bring any tires. That's a separate program. Okay.
Yeah, Roger, the tires typically, we have one, I think it's about every 3 years. We have a tire amnesty day, and that's partnered with the state transportation cabinet. But now we do have we do get a little bit of grant money every year for tires. But it goes through our solid waste program, and they can be dropped off. I think you have to have an appointment. We'll allow, I don't see Scott and Willie. Willie's on here, but I don't see Scott on here anymore, so I don't know if he can really give us an update on that.
Well, the reason I ask that, about every year, whenever we have these solid waste gatherings, I usually get one or two to ask me about tires, and I usually tell them that's a separate program that we have to have. Other than that, I just want to thank all the workers for the great work that they do for us. Yep. Thank you.
Thanks, Roger. Counselor, do you have anything today? Thank you. Appreciate you being on. It's good to see you. Kenny, you want to give us an update?
Yes, sir. I guess we'll start at the top. What's going on right now? Currently on govoteki.com, you can request your absentee ballot. Those ballots haven't even been printed yet. Today, the ballot was certified. So we couldn't print ballots until today. On the presidential election, it's always a really tight deadline because of the presidential write-ins. So the portal to request an absentee ballot is open. I'm reading it right off the screen. It's going to be open until October 9th at 11:59 p.m. That's to request a mail-in absentee ballot. Walk-in absentee voting starts here at the clerk's office on October 13th, all the way up to the day before the election. And that includes Saturdays from 8 to 12. We'll have next meeting, we'll have finalized plans with locations and times, and we're trying to we've got, the locations are coming together, but we're trying to get enough people to have 2 locations to vote a week before in Richmond and Berea. But we're having difficulty finding those folks and finding the folks to work during the day and maybe some evening shifts to do the mail-in absentee. We're getting there. Does that get you, Tom?
And then what about poll workers, Kenny? Just to make that announcement.
We've got 190 volunteered, but they volunteered. The good thing is about half of them are new, which is good. We're getting a lot of new people with a lot of interest, but they are volunteering for election day. And with the poll center model, we don't need as many people on election day because we're doing early mail-in absentee, which takes quite a few people to do it. And then we're doing trying to do the week before at 2 locations, which takes several people. So we're trying to find folks that there's not many, most people take off a vacation day from work poll. You can't take off a week. You don't expect somebody to take off a week and work poll. So we're trying to find folks that can work during the day, don't have other things going on.
I just want to say, Judge, that Kenny, that does help with the dates and everything. I have been to the govoteki.com, and it didn't take you anywhere. It just sort of led you to a black hole. It didn't ever send you to a place where you could actually request a ballot, by using your name and stuff. So maybe they've got that worked out by now. That was a couple of days ago, last week. And
Okay, yeah, it should be up and working. I've got it up now, and that's where you can update your registration, request a ballot, and get all the information you need.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thanks, Kenny. Sheriff, do you have anything? Yeah. Thank you, Sheriff. Comments from department heads. Do we have any comments from department heads today? All right, not seeing any comments. Chris just told me that we don't have any comments from the audience. So at this time, we'll pay the claims and approve the transfers. Do I have a motion and a second? John Tudor?
Make a motion to pay the claims and approve the transfers, Judge.
Thanks, John. Roger?
Second.
Thanks, Roger. Tom, did you want to ask your question to Glenna?
I did get that resolved, Judge. I was asking Glenna about the insurance claim on page 6 it was voucher number 4140. And it was a insurance claim for L&W services and it was stated as a graphic package on unit 123 for a battlefield incident. And she said thought that was a incident involving one of our cruisers over in Battlefield.
Okay. All right. Good. Any other comments or questions? All right, seeing none, call the roll, please.
Master Berger,
Yes.
Master Tudor,
Yes.
Master Buckley,
Yes.
Good Taylor.
Yes. Our next meeting will be September the 22nd, 2020. It'll be right back here on Zoom. Again, our next fiscal court meeting will be September the 22nd at 9:30 a.m. 2020, right back here on Zoom. I need a motion and a second to adjourn. Roger?
So moved.
John Tudor?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Master Tudor,
Yes.
Mr. Buckles,
Yes.
Mr. Berger,
Yes.
Judge Taylor.
Yes. Thank you all very much. Great to see everybody. Have a great week and God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.